Yes. So I want to ask you this. I want to go back to Tam, your beginning as a solo artist, and David. I want to pinpoint something that people should know because you've told the story, but something that I saw up close. David, when you had a chance, I think I'm going to say this right. When you had a chance to kind of take off as a writer, even as an artist, you decided to pour into Tam and give everything that you could have given as a solo artist to her. Um, as not
Yeah,
only your wife but an artist and somebody who I guess benefited the best from it. And I can say yes, she did back then. But I think that was such a selfless act, with really no guarantee of success. It was just what you want to do. Can you talk about that as a husband, and also a very creative person?
the thing is, I was looking and seeing. I know what I've seen for like 40 something years. I've
Yeah,
seen world class.
yeah.
But the thing was getting convincing her that she was world class.
You was talking about
Wow.
this morning.
We were talking about it this morning,
Oh
and
man.
just convincing her that you're a lot greater. There's a lot greater in there than you even know.
Mm,
And matter of fact, like she said, was talking about it this morning. I was encouraging her this morning,
mm,
even on the
This
platform of
like this.
this talking. I said, you're far greater than you even realize.
mm,
I think the only person that don't know the greatness of you is you.
mm,
And so, and I know she's never gonna be around like I'm this and I'm that, but I had to convince her to be a solo artist.
Yes.
And I'm talking about strongly convinced. It was like an argument convinced. Like,
oh
you
wow.
are a solo artist. I'm not no solo artist, and I'm not gonna be no solo.
Because of what he saw in me and what he, heard through me. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And no, and then and you put the fact that by now you're talking about a new solo artist. She's 38 years old.
Hmm.
Mm,
So, at that time, a 38-year-old new artist, yeah, I heard of.
And plus size.
And so all the variables that
yeah.
said no.
Mm,
But our
But
God's
God.
timing is not our timing.
yep.
And when God has a stamp of approval, it doesn't matter what the odds are, what everybody else say, what everybody else is doing, what the trends are.
Mm,
God is going to do what God is going to do.
Ooh, that brought tears to
And that's what I believed in. And to be honest, it's just by faith, because I didn't see it, because like I say, we got all the variables.
yeah.
She's plus size, so the industry had already told her no. She didn't have a record deal. Nobody was running to offer Tamela Mann a record deal.
Yeah.
So we was like, let's start our own. I believe that much to where I put my own money up, start our own. Then, like I say, she's the age and all of that. And then, oh, not to mention we ain't had the money for
thank you. So he borrowed
it.
the
So
money.
I borrowed the money.
wow.
I believe that much that I borrow the money and say, let's do it. And the rest is her story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And God, I mean, I just thank God first of all for him and that he saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. This
Mm,
is like really, I feel emotional. I guess I'm emotional today.
yeah.
But I'm really grateful to God for him pushing me. And a lot of times when we have people pushing us, we do push back, and sometimes we push back out of fear and not knowing that, like you say, that it's gonna work or the outcome is gonna be basically.
Yeah.
But I just thank God for him having vision, and just scripture tells us without a vision we perish, and I just think, and the lack of knowledge. I'm so grateful that he trusted his heart and that he was obedient to God, and even pushing me to push myself
Mm,
that I can. And I'm just,
And
this is so
and
good.
and a lot of times, and this is what we'll talk about in the love and relationship tour. A lot of times when us as men, and now you got to be lined up with God before you do this. So don't
mhm,
try to go this and you talking crazy to her. But a lot of times when we're doing that push, sometimes women will take that as you being controlling.
Controlling.
And it's
mm,
like, no, I know what I see. I
yeah.
know what God has put in me. And I was telling my grandkids the other day, one of my superpowers is to take what people have and make it better.
Wow.
And that's just something the Lord has given me.
Mhm.
And so
True.
when you do that in a relationship, in a marriage, you have to trust and know, but it has to be done in the spirit of love. Because you
Mhm.
can't go into like, go and do it right now. Get it right now. And I said, you have to know, they have to know that you have their best interest and it's done in the spirit of love. And once she realized that, she was like, "Leave me, Daddy, leave me."